Welcome to the Shadow of History channel. Be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss out more videos like this one. Milwaukee, 1914. William Harley and Arthur Davidson pose with their early motorcycles. These childhood friends transformed a small wooden shed into an international empire, forever changing the landscape of American engineering and transportation. New York City, 1948. Holocaust survivor Joseph Gutmann embraces Master Sergeant William Best after surviving the horrors of the camps. Gutmann found a new life and a father in the soldier who liberated him. Egypt, 1200 BC. The tomb of Ramesses III reveals breathtaking carvings and vibrant hieroglyphics. The ceiling displays scenes from the Book of the Dead, preserving the spiritual journey of a pharaoh in stunning detail. Prague, 1410. The astronomical clock is installed on the Old Town Hall as the world's oldest operating astronomical clock. Continues to track time zodiac cycles and solar movements for mesmerized crowds today. Utah, 2009. Susan Powell vanishes without a trace, leaving behind a chilling handwritten note. She warned that her death might not be an accident, yet she remains missing, leaving a haunting, unsolved mystery. Rome, New York, 1999. Woodstock. Attendees play in what they believe is mud. However, the sludge is actually human waste from overflowing toilets, turning the festival of the century into a notorious public health disaster. America, 1980. Children in colorful costumes pack a school bus for Halloween. This candid snapshot captures the nostalgia of 1980s childhood, where plastic masks and homemade outfits define the spirit of the spooky holiday. Los Angeles, 1975. Diane Keaton radiates effortless style during the rise of her iconic career, known for her unique fashion and immense talent. This portrait captures the actress before she became a cinematic legend. Los Angeles, 1999. Sarah Michelle Gellar, Seth Green, and Allison Hannigan share a laugh backstage. This candid moment captures the young stars of the hit series Buffy, the vampire slayer during its cultural peak. Washington, D.C., 2024. Thousands of replica dog tags hang in a somber display. Each tag represents a soldier who never returned from the Vietnam War, serving as a powerful, shimmering tribute to the fallen. Los Angeles, 1991. Steve Martin and Diane Keaton share a comedic moment on the set of Father of the Bride. The film became a beloved classic, showcasing the undeniable chemistry between the two stars. Canada, 1967. A young Jim Carrey celebrates Christmas with his family decades before becoming a global comedy superstar. The future actor showed glimpses of the expressive personality that would eventually captivate audiences worldwide. America, 2015. A couple celebrates their 40th wedding anniversary by recreating their original 1975 wedding photos. This heartwarming tribute showcases a lifetime of love and commitment, bridging 4 decades with 2 simple images. Europe, 1894. A woman displays an incredibly intricate and fascinating hairstyle. This portrait highlights the elaborate grooming standards of the late Victorian era, where hair was used as a complex medium for artistic expression. Los Angeles, 1938. Actors cast as Munchkins arrive at MGM Studios to begin filming The Wizard of Oz. Their arrival marked the start of production for one of the most iconic films in history. Earth orbit, 1957. Laika the dog becomes the first living creature to orbit the planet. Though her journey was a tragic one-way mission, her sacrifice paved the way for human exploration of the stars. Los Angeles 2025. The world mourns the passing of the legendary Diane Keaton. At age 79, her storied career spanned decades, leaving behind an indelible mark on cinema and a legacy of timeless performances. Harlem 1940, Corrie ten Boom and her family transformed their watch shop into a secret refuge by hiding over 800 Jewish refugees. They risked everything to stand against the darkness of Nazi occupation. Italy 1500s, Michelangelo crafts a grocery list for his illiterate servant. Instead of words, the master artist drew precise sketches of fish, bread, and wine to ensure his household remained properly stocked with supplies. New York City 1994 activists carry a mile-long rainbow banner through the streets, celebrating the 25th anniversary of the Stonewall riots. This massive display of pride marked a historic milestone for the LGBTQ+ movement. Hokkaido 1980s. A Japanese train station remains operational for a single student. For years, the train stopped just for her commute, finally closing its doors forever, only after she successfully completed her high school graduation. Texas 1952. 6-year-old Paul Alexander contracts polio and is placed in an iron lung paralyzed from the neck down. He spent decades inside the yellow cylinder, becoming a symbol of resilience and human spirit. Florida 1994. Young Justin Timberlake and Ryan Gosling posed together during their time on the Mickey Mouse Club. This snapshot, it captures two future global superstars long before they dominated the music and film industries. London 1959, actress Jane Mansfield attends a football match between Tottenham Hotspur and Wolverhampton Wanderers. Her presence at the stadium brought a touch of Hollywood glamour to the gritty world of British sports. Philadelphia, 1876 workers construct the massive internal structure for the Statue of Liberty's torch. This rare image shows the colossal scale of the monument before it was shipped to New York as a gift. Monaco 1960, Princess Grace radiates elegance in this candid portrait. The former Hollywood star turned royal became a global icon of fashion and grace, bridging the world of cinema and European monarchy seamlessly. America 1940, doctors treat infants with jaundice by placing them in direct sunlight. This practice, known as sunshine babies, predated modern UV technology, using the natural power of the sun to heal newborns. Zambia, 1965. A young Kamala Harris stands beside her mother, Shamala Gopalan. This early photograph captures the future Vice President of the United States as a child long before her historic rise in politics. Canada 1995. A young Justin Trudeau is photographed years before entering the political arena. This portrait captures the future Prime Minister during his youth, long before he would lead the nation on the world stage. Sweden, 1731. A poorly taxidermied lion at Gripsholm Castle becomes a historical curiosity, originally a gift to the king. The lion's strange, almost human-like face has made it a famous and hilarious museum attraction. Germany, 1895, Wilhelm Röntgen produces the first X-ray image featuring his wife's hand upon seeing her bones and wedding ring. She famously exclaimed, "I have seen my death," marking a revolution in medicine. Nagasaki, 1945. A massive mushroom cloud rises over the city following the atomic bombing. This haunting image documents one of the most devastating moments in human history, signaling the dawn of the nuclear age. Ukraine, 1945. The 10 Lysenko brothers return home together after the war in a miraculous twist of fate. Every brother survived the brutal conflict, reuniting with their mother in an extraordinary display of luck. London, 1914. A suffragette is arrested while demanding the right to vote. Her defiant struggle was part of a global movement that eventually secured democratic representation for women, changing the course of history forever. London, 1975. Bruce Springsteen performs a legendary set at the Hammersmith Odeon. This concert helped propel the boss to international superstardom, showcasing the raw energy and storytelling that would define his iconic musical career. Arles, 1888. Side-by-side images compare Van Gogh's famous paintings with their modern-day locations. These views show how the artist transformed the simple French landscape into swirling masterpieces of color and emotion that endure today. Moscow, 1980. The opening ceremony of the Summer Olympics begins with massive choreographed displays. Despite a major international boycott, the Soviet Union staged a grand spectacle to showcase its culture to the world. Massachusetts, 1988. Barack Obama is photographed as a young law student at Harvard University. This early portrait captures the future president years before his historic Audacity of Hope speech changed the American political landscape. America, 1920s. Laborers perform extreme tree pruning without the safety of modern bucket lifts, clinging to high branches with simple ropes and ladders. These workers risk their lives to maintain the urban canopy. Los Angeles, 1950s. Grace Kelly and Audrey Hepburn share a rare moment backstage at the Academy Awards. This photograph captures two of cinema's most legendary leading ladies together during the golden age of Hollywood. Washington, D.C., 1989. Two performers dressed in a horse costume visit Ronald Reagan in the Oval Office. This whimsical moment highlights the lighter side of the presidency during Reagan's final days in office. Pittsburgh, 1998. The Undertaker hurls mankind off the top of a 16-foot steel cage. This legendary Hell in a Cell moment became one of the most famous and dangerous stunts in wrestling history. Los Angeles, 1998. Neve Campbell arrives at the premiere of Wild Things at the height of her 90s fame. The actress became a focal point of the era's pop culture and dark cinematic thrillers. America, 2004. Soldiers return home from the war in Iraq, reuniting with their families. These emotional scenes of homecoming captured the personal toll of the conflict and the profound relief of those who returned. Florida, 2017. 10-year-old Juliana Ossa escapes a deadly alligator attack by jamming her fingers into the predator's nose. She forced it to release its grip, a life-saving trick she learned from a local park. Rochester, 2024. Ballerina Isha Ash dances through inner-city streets to inspire young children by performing in everyday environments. She breaks stereotypes and shows the beauty of ballet to communities that rarely see it. England, 1937. 5-year-old Elizabeth Taylor poses with her brother Howard. This rare childhood photograph captures the future screen legend years before she became one of the most famous and celebrated actresses in Hollywood. Los Angeles, 1960. Anthony Perkins prepares for a scene on the set of Psycho under the direction of Alfred Hitchcock. Perkins created the chilling character of Norman Bates, redefining the horror movie genre forever. Luxembourg, 1944. A United States soldier pauses during the Battle of the Bulge to shake hands with a local dog. This brief moment of humanity provided a fleeting respite from the brutal winter combat. Chicago, 1996. Michael. Jordan collapses in tears after winning the NBA championship on Father's Day, having recently lost his own father. The victory was an overwhelming emotional release for the legendary basketball superstar. England, 1991. Artist Brian Charnley paints a series of self-portraits while suffering from schizophrenia. These haunting works document his deteriorating mental state, providing a raw and tragic look into the mind of a genius. California, 1960s. Jane Mansfield hosts a birthday party featuring a baby elephant dyed pink. This extravagant celebration perfectly captured the over-the-top glamour and eccentricities of the Hollywood star's public and private life. California, 1990s. A young Leonardo DiCaprio is photographed alongside his father. This candid family moment captures the future. An Oscar winner during his early years in the industry, long before his rise to global superstardom. U.S. border, 2001. A man attempts to sneak into the country by being sewn into a car seat. Despite the elaborate disguise, border agents quickly spotted the deception, ending the unusual and desperate crossing attempt. Washington, D.C., 1932. Doctor. Eric Salomon sneaks a camera into the Supreme Court. Inside a fake arm cast, he captured one of the only illegal photos ever taken of the court while in session. New Orleans, 1834. A fire at Madame Lalaury's mansion reveals a horrific secret. Rescuers discovered enslaved people, tortured and chained in a hidden attic, exposing the socialite as one of history's most sadistic criminals. New York City, 1950s. Neon signs and vintage cars illuminate the bustling streets of Times Square. This era defined the city as the center of the world, filled with energy theater and endless metropolitan life. Manhattan, 1982. Artist Agnes Dinas plants a 2-acre wheat field in the shadow of the World Trade Center. This stunning environmental installation transformed urban landfill into a golden landscape before it became Battery Park. London, 1952. Kent Cigarettes introduces an asbestos filter in response to growing cancer concerns, marketed as a health protection measure. The Micro Night filter unknowingly exposed smokers to one of the world's deadliest minerals. Los Angeles, 1970. Tina and Ike Turner pose at home with their 4 sons. This rare family portrait offers a glimpse into the private life of the rock and roll duo during their peak years. Massachusetts, 17th century. Giant piles of lobsters wash ashore, considered a food only for the poor. In colonial times, they were so abundant they were fed to prisoners and used as fertilizer on local farms. London, 1972. David Bowie debuts his vibrant Ziggy Stardust persona with flaming red hair and avant-garde fashion. He challenged traditional gender norms and revolutionized the music industry with his visionary, otherworldly stage presence. New Zealand, 2024. Baldwin Street in Dunedin remains the steepest residential street in the world. Tourists from across the globe visit to walk the extreme incline where houses appear to be sinking into the pavement. New York, 1999. A young Jordan. Peele is photographed at the start of his comedy career, long before becoming a visionary horror director. He was honing the sharp wit that would define his legacy. Oklahoma City, 2024. City manhole covers feature a specialized map with a white dot. This clever urban design allows pedestrians to see exactly where they are standing within the city's grid at any time. New York, 1967. James Brown. The godfather of soul is captured during a peak performance. His electric energy and innovative rhythm laid the foundation for funk music and influenced generations of future performers worldwide. Southampton, 1912. The RMS Titanic sits at the dock just days before its maiden voyage. This rare photograph captures the unsinkable ship in all its glory before it set sail for its tragic destiny. New York City, 1972. Debbie Reynolds and her daughter Carrie Fisher attend a school benefit. This tender moment captures the bond between two Hollywood icons who would remain inseparable until their deaths decades later. Bethlehem, 1889. The Benura family poses for a formal portrait in Palestine. This historic image offers a rare look at a Christian family's life and traditional attire in the late 19th century Middle East. Paris, 1920. A quiet park provides a serene escape for city dwellers surrounded by manicured gardens and classical architecture. This green space has remained a timeless symbol of Parisian leisure and beauty for centuries. America, 1983. Arnold Schwarzenegger proudly displays his United States citizenship papers. The Austrian-born bodybuilder achieved his American dream, eventually transitioning from a global action movie star to the governor of California. America, 1951. A cat is photographed curiously eating corn on the cob. This light-hearted image, captured by Alan Grant for Life magazine, became a charming example of mid-century animal photography and domestic life. Europe, 1917. A young soldier shares a heartbreaking goodbye with his grandmother before heading to the front lines. This poignant image captures the personal sacrifice and family separation defined by the First World War. Massachusetts, 1940. John F. Kennedy celebrates his graduation from Harvard University. This portrait captures the future president at the start of his adult life, unaware of the historic political path that lay ahead. California, 1941. Salvador Dali works on his haunting masterpiece. The Face of War, the painting reflected the artist's reaction to the global conflict using surreal imagery to express the horror and misery of battle. Paris, 1940. The Grand Gallery of the Louvre stands empty during the Nazi occupation to protect France's cultural heritage. Thousands of masterpieces were evacuated and hidden in the countryside before the enemy arrived. The Forest 2024 An Owl demonstrates perfect camouflage by blending seamlessly into the bark of a tree. This natural defense makes the predator nearly invisible to both its prey and any observers in the woods. Canada, 1990. Tim Curry, Brendan Crane, and Seth Green share a moment behind the scenes of it. This candid photo shows the cast of the horror classic during a break from filming The Nightmare. Paris, 2004. Police discover a secret, fully equipped cinema hidden deep within the city's catacombs. The underground theater included a bar and dining room professionally wired for electricity in an unmapped section of tunnels. America, 2020. A special effects artist creates a hyper-realistic, terrifying mask for the pandemic. The detailed craftsmanship turned standard facial protection into a piece of wearable art that blurred the line between reality and film. Ukraine, 1996. The nation surrenders its massive nuclear arsenal to Russia in exchange for the Budapest Memorandum. Ukraine received security guarantees that its borders and sovereignty would always be respected and never threatened. Los Angeles, 1978. John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John pose on the set of Grease. Their iconic performances turned the musical into a global phenomenon, defining the aesthetic and soundtrack of a generation. Los Angeles, 1970s. A young Michael Jackson dresses as Charlie Chaplin for a photo shoot. This tribute to the silent film star showcased Jackson's early appreciation for classic performance and his own burgeoning theatrical genius. Moscow, 1991. 600,000 fans gather at Tushino Airfield to witness Rammstein and heavy metal legends. This massive assembly remains one of the largest concert crowds in history, signaling a new era for Russia. Omaha, 1988. Senator Lloyd Bentsen delivers a legendary debate sting to Dan Quayle by declaring, "Senator, you're no Jack Kennedy." Bentsen created one of the most famous and devastating political takedowns in American history. Korea, 1952. General Matthew Ridgway eliminates racial segregation within the 8th Army, calling the practice un-American and inefficient. He integrated units years before the domestic civil rights movement gained similar ground across the United States. London, 1930s. Parents place their infants in wire baby cages suspended outside apartment windows. Designed to provide sunlight and fresh air in crowded urban environments, these precarious contraptions were believed to boost vital vitamin D. London, 1970. Olivia Newton. John enjoys a quiet moment in Soho Square, captured during her early career in the United Kingdom. The photograph shows the future global superstar before her legendary transformation in the film Grease. Venice, 1989. Pink Floyd performs on a massive floating stage in the middle of the lagoon. The historic concert drew 200,000 fans, causing controversy over the potential damage to the key city's ancient architecture. Los Angeles, 1958. Marlon Brando gazes at his firstborn son, Christian. The legendary actor famously claimed that becoming a father provided him with a new reason to live, showing a rare, tender side of the icon. Scotland, 1971. School children take to the streets to protest the BBC's plan to cancel Scooby-Doo. Their organized march successfully voiced their love for the cartoon, proving that even young fans can influence television programming. Denmark, 1975. CEO Lars Foss drinks Agent Orange on live television to prove its safety. Though he survived until age 82, the stunt remains a controversial example of corporate confidence regarding toxic chemical agricultural products. America, 1940s. A young mother shares a joyful moment with her smiling son shot on Agfa safety film. This candid portrait captures the simple, timeless warmth of family life during the mid-20th century era. Texas, 1962. High school students dressed in their finest formal wear walk toward their senior prom. This nostalgic snapshot captures the fashion and optimistic spirit of American youth just before the cultural shifts of the 60s. Tanzania, 1960. Jane Goodall transcribes her field observations by lamplight in Gombe Stream National Park. Her groundbreaking work with chimpanzees revolutionized our understanding of primates and the deep connection between humans and the animal kingdom. Germany, 1959. Elvis Presley signs his autograph on the top of a young boy's head during his military service abroad. The king of rock and roll continued to captivate fans with his charismatic personality. New York City, 1920. A daredevil balances on the back legs of a chair atop a skyscraper perched 20 stories above the street. This heart-stopping feat of balance was captured by photographer George Reinhardt. Japan, 1958. A little girl smiles as she pretends to talk on a telephone, captured by Mark Reboot. This charming image reflects the universal nature of childhood play and imagination in a post-war world. Washington, D.C., 1961. The Oval Office reflects the style of the Kennedy administration, filled with historical artifacts and a sense of youthful energy. This room served as the command center during the Cold War. Washington, D.C., 1922. Police officers arrest women for wearing bathing suits that violate modesty laws. Officers used measuring tapes to ensure suits were not too short, strictly enforcing beach decorum of the early 20s. England, 2024. A moss-covered gravestone marks the final resting place of a beloved dog from 80 years ago. The enduring memorial serves as a touching reminder of the deep bond between humans and pets. London, 1980. A young girl meets Prince Andrew on a Royal Navy ship after writing to a television show to fulfill her dream of sailing. Her wish was granted through this high-profile naval adventure. California, 1977. A young fan in a white cap flirts with a girl during a Fleetwood Mac concert. This candid moment captures the carefree, sun-drenched atmosphere of the California rock scene during the 70s. Kansas, 1958. Lowell Lee Andrews stands by as police search a river for his weapons. Despite being called the nicest boy in Wolcott, the college student had just brutally murdered his entire family. London, 1930s. Welsh medium Colin Evans appears to levitate during a darkened seance. A hidden flash revealed the fraud. Evans was actually jumping off his chair, using trickery to fool his devoted spiritualist followers. New York, 1916. Theodore Roosevelt cradles his grandson Kermit Jr. This colorized portrait shows the former president in his later years enjoying a quiet moment of family legacy, far from the political arena. Alabama, 1960s. Werner von Braun stands in his NASA office while he became a hero of the Apollo moon missions. His dark past involved directing rocket production in Nazi camps where thousands of prisoners perished. New York, 1929. Billionaire John D. Rockefeller hands a 5-cent coin to a young child. Even as the world's richest man, Rockefeller was famous for distributing nickels and dimes as a symbolic gesture of thrift. The Pacific, 1945. A comprehensive map reveals the final resting places of every Japanese ship sunk during World War II. The dense clusters of icons provide a haunting visual of the scale of naval destruction. Paris, 1969. Salvador Dali creates a spectacle by emerging from the metro with a giant anteater on a leash. The Surrealist master was famous for these eccentric public stunts that blurred art and reality. Los Angeles, 1999. The young cast of 10 Things. I Hate About You poses on set. This snapshot captures Heath Ledger and Julia Stiles during the production of the iconic 90s teen romantic comedy. Boston, 1988. Robin Williams spends his entire day signing autographs at a local homeless shelter known for his immense generosity. The comedian used his fame to bring joy and attention to those in need. New York City, 1961. Audrey Hepburn poses for promotional photos for breakfast at Tiffany's. This image helped define the sophisticated Holly, go-lightly look that would become one of the most iconic styles in film history. Sydney, 1990s. A young Naomi Watts is captured in a stunning early portrait before becoming an Academy Award-nominated actress. She worked as a model and aspiring performer in the burgeoning Australian film industry. Zanzibar, 1950s, a young boy named Farrokh Bulsara poses for a school photo. He would later move to London and transform into Freddie Mercury, the legendary and flamboyant lead singer of the band Queen. Washington, D.C. 1998. Hillary Clinton stands beside her husband as he addresses the nation. This tense moment captured the beginning of a major political scandal that would dominate the American news cycle for years. The Amazon 2017 Jeremy Wade completes his final mission for river monsters. The show concluded because the expert angler had successfully caught every giant freshwater species on Earth, literally running out of legendary creatures. Hollywood, 1976. Pranksters alter the famous sign to read Hollyweed. The creative stunt celebrated a change in California's marijuana laws, becoming one of the most famous and photographed alterations in the landmark's long history. Los Angeles, 1989. Meryl Streep and Vincent Price share a seat at the Academy Awards, this rare gathering of acting royalty. Highlights the intersection of classic Hollywood horror and modern cinematic excellence. Chicago, 1944. Sewell Avery is physically carried out of his office by the National Guard. The CEO refused to comply with labor laws during wartime, leading to the government's total seizure of Montgomery Ward. New Zealand, 1900. A young Maori woman poses for a traditional portrait. This striking image preserves the cultural heritage and indigenous beauty of the Maori people at the turn of the 20th century. California, 1980s. A young Kamala Harris smiles in a candid photograph from her student days long before her political career. She was focused on her education and the social justice issues of the era. New York, 1957. 12-year-old Christopher Walken helps in his father's bakery. Before his legendary acting career, the young performer spent his mornings making pie crusts and learning the value of hard manual labor. America, 1950. A mother stands proudly with her 8 sons, all of whom returned home safely after serving in the military. This extraordinary reunion was a rare and joyous conclusion to their family service. Giza, 1864. Japanese samurai pose in front of the Great Sphinx. This rare meeting of cultures occurred during a diplomatic mission bridging the traditional world of Japan with the ancient history of Egypt. Mount to Everest, 1996. Beck Weathers miraculously walks back into camp after being left for dead in a blizzard despite severe frostbite and a declared death. His survival remains the most incredible story in mountaineering. California, 1992. A 23-year-old Jack Black displays his signature high-energy personality long before Tenacious D and Hollywood stardom. The young actor was already making a name for himself in the Los Angeles theater scene. Saipan, 1995. Billionaire Larry Hillblom disappears after a mysterious plane crash. His death triggered a massive legal battle involving DNA tests and heirs across Asia, as his body was never recovered from the sea. Los Angeles, 2009. The final resting outfit of Michael Jackson is revealed to the public. This regal attire served as the final tribute to the King of Pop following his sudden and tragic passing. England, 1981. Kurt Russell portrays the iconic anti-hero snake Pliskin in Escape from New York. His gritty performance and eye patch became a permanent fixture in the world of 80s action and sci-fi. America, 1910s. A father and son share a playful moment for a vintage portrait. These early candid images reflect the enduring joy of fatherhood and the universal bond between parents and their children. New York City, 1971. The core steel structures of the Twin Towers are visible during early construction. This rare view shows the immense engineering required to build what would become the tallest buildings on Earth. Gaza, 1999. President Bill Clinton and Yasser Arafat celebrate the opening of the Gaza International Airport. The event was seen as a major step toward Palestinian sovereignty and a hopeful symbol for regional peace. London, 1994. A tangled mess of cassette tape highlights a common frustration of the 90s, before digital streaming music lovers spent hours manually winding tapes back into their plastic shells with a simple pencil. Scotland, 1963. Residents of Aberdeen build a massive towering snowman during a record winter. This giant icy creation became a local sensation, providing a bit of whimsical relief during a particularly harsh Scottish freeze. New York, 1946. Frida Kahlo poses for a vivid portrait by Nicholas Murray. The image captures the artist's legendary style and resilience, taken during one of her many influential visits to the United States. New York, 1906. A lifeguard stands watch at Brighton Beach during the early 20th century. These guardians of the shore were essential as the beach became a massive destination for city dwellers seeking relief. America, 1926. Children celebrate Easter with elaborate hats and baskets. This vintage snapshot captures the traditional holiday customs of the Roaring '20s, where family gatherings and festive attire were central to the spring season. Pittsburgh, 2002. The brain of NFL star Mike Webster reveals the first confirmed case of CTE. His tragic decline and post-mortem diagnosis changed the world of professional sports forever, exposing the dangers of concussions. London, 2011. Queen Elizabeth II hosts Barack and Michelle Obama at a Buckingham Palace state dinner. The historic visit reinforced the special relationship between the two nations during a night of royal pageantry. Missouri, 1989. Patricia Stallings is wrongfully imprisoned for the death of her son, initially blamed on antifreeze poisoning. It was later discovered her children suffered from a rare genetic disorder, leading to her exoneration. Ohio, 1990. David Kirby dies of AIDS, surrounded by his grieving family. This powerful photograph humanized the epidemic for the IA, world breaking through the stigma and fear that defined the early years of the crisis. Paris, 1964. The Beatles engage in an epic pillow fight at the George V Hotel. This candid moment captured the youthful energy and camaraderie of the Fab Four at the peak of global Beatlemania. California, 1975. Actress Dawn Wells, famous for her role as Mary Ann on Gilligan's Island, poses for a portrait. She remained a beloved television icon, known for her wholesome charm and enduring popularity. New York City, 1983. A young Madonna poses inside her modest East Village apartment, just on the verge of global superstardom. She was a fixture of the city's gritty underground art and music scene. Tennessee, 1844. A rare early photograph captures a weathered President Andrew Jackson taken. Toward the end of his life, the image provides a stark, realistic look at one of America's most controversial founding leaders. China, 1901. A man breaks tradition by smiling and posing goofily for a British anthropologist's camera, unaware that photography was typically a somber affair. His genuine joy earned him the nickname "Happiest Man in China." London, 1953. Queen Elizabeth II is photographed in her full regalia following her coronation. This historic portrait marked the beginning of her record-breaking reign, symbolizing a new Elizabethan age for the British Empire. Chicago, 1931. Mobsters shield their faces with hats and hands during Al Capone's tax evasion trial. The high-stakes legal battle eventually brought down the most notorious gangster in American history, ending his criminal reign. Belgrade, 1914. A Serbian soldier's father visits him on the front lines, and the two share a brief sleep. This touching image highlights the personal toll of war and the enduring love of family. Zanzibar, 1907. A British blacksmith removes the heavy leg irons from a formerly enslaved man. This powerful image documents the late stages of the struggle to abolish the slave trade across the Indian Ocean. Ontario, 1920. Indigenous children are forced to pray at a residential school. These institutions were part of a systemic effort to erase Native culture, leaving a painful legacy that continues to impact communities today. Hong Kong, 1989. Martial arts legend Jackie Chan performs at a benefit concert for Tiananmen Square protesters. He joined other artists to show his solidarity with the student-led movement for democracy and political reform. North Korea, 2024 citizens react with genuine laughter while watching Mr. Bean at an international film festival. The silent comedy bridged cultural divides, proving that humor can transcend even the most rigid political boundaries. America, 1977. A couple celebrates their wedding ceremony at a local McDonald's. This unconventional and budget-friendly choice captured the unique pop culture spirit of the 70s, where fast food was a burgeoning national obsession. California, 1992. Brendan Fraser and Pauly Shore celebrate the release of the comedy Encino Man. The film became a quintessential 90s cult classic, launching Fraser's career as a major Hollywood leading man. Massachusetts, 1941. Rosemary Kennedy undergoes a forced lobotomy at age 23. The tragic procedure ordered by her father left her permanently disabled and hidden away from the public, for the rest of her life. Indonesia, 2011. A wild macaque snaps a famous selfie using a nature photographer's camera. The viral image sparked a massive legal battle over copyright, eventually leading to a court ruling that animals cannot own creative rights. London, 1964. 89-year-old Winston Churchill steps away from the House of Commons for the final time after 64 years of service. The legendary statesman departs, marking the end of a monumental era in British politics. New York, 1927. Babe Ruth and John Philip Sousa joined trainer Artie McGovern for a session of discipline recovery. McGovern's specialized regime helped the era's biggest stars offset their famous excesses through fitness and diet. Burma, 1920s. Long before writing his iconic novels, George Orwell serves as a young officer in the Indian Imperial Police. This formative experience in the colonial service would later shape his profound views on authority. Martinique, 1974. Gerald Ford and Henry Kissinger share poolside cocktails with President Valéry Giscard. I disdain this relaxed moment preceded the intense diplomatic negotiations of the G7 summit, blending tropical leisure with high-stakes international politics. Los Angeles, 1941. A forest of oil rigs dominates the skyline of Signal Hill, signaling California's massive industrial boom. This dense mechanical landscape fueled the state's economy, forever changing the geography of the American West. Aberfan, 1966. Two young boys stand in somber silence, watching the desperate rescue efforts following a catastrophic coal-tip slide. This tragic disaster claimed many lives, leaving a deep and lasting scar on the community. Belgium, 1914. A company of the Black Watch waits in a muddy trench, their faces etched with the strain of combat. This colorized image brings the stark, gritty reality of the Great War into vivid focus. Slovenia, 1991. Yugoslav troops lay down their arms, surrendering during the brief but pivotal War of Independence. This moment of transition signaled the beginning of the violent breakup of Yugoslavia and the birth of new nations.